Hi all, Bones here from BSA Bantams again, and in this episode we'll give you a quick walk around the workshop to see what we're up to and what we've done. And I'm going to show you how I set this up to machine a component that we need for our restoration work. We've run out of drain plugs, gearbox drain plugs. Can't get them from the wholesalers, so we've elected to make them. So I'll take you through the setup of the machine and how we go about it. But first of all, let's go and have a look around the workshop. Okay, right here, WR450 that Justin's just been working on. You can see the drain pan underneath that, doing an oil change, just done a service on it, new air filter, bit of a tune up.
Back tyre.
Oh, back tyre, thanks mate. Down here, just in from one of our wholesalers in the UK. And if you're wondering why Bantam parts are so expensive, what you're looking at there is $700 worth of freight and import duties. That's without buying the stuff that's inside the box. Insane. Down here we have the customer engine that we were working on. It's in our test stand. Very rudimentary test stand, I might admit, but it works very well. So we've just been running that up, and that goes really well. It's actually got a little bit of poke in it, so the head surface was pretty badly damaged, so I skimmed it in the lathe, but I wouldn't say I took anything excessive off it. But we're very happy with the way that's come out. Now the reason it's just staying in the test stand, we run it up, 10 minutes run time every day for a few days before we're satisfied that it goes out to the customer, and they'll do the final run-in on the bike. I send them away with the procedure so they can do that. So back to our trusty Ward turret lathe. If you don't know what one of these are, these were the original production lathes. So every time I wind this handle here back, you can see the index is the next tool. Now, how far that turret actually goes in is set by these adjusters at the back, and you can just see the adjuster there. It comes up, oh, just hit the camera. It comes up to that stop there. It's actually hitting the job at the moment. So for each station on the tailstock, you've got an adjuster that sets the depth that it goes in. You can also move the whole system backwards and forwards up the bed to set the depth. So around the back over here, you'll see that there and that up there, and on the shaft they actually are stops, so they're carriage stops. So as you wind it in, you can set a stop that way and set a stop that way. I've got the chuck set up in the machine because we're machining hex, and I don't have a collet the hex size that we're actually machining. So at the moment I'm just about to change out the thread chasers. I'll just wind that around. So inside this Coventry die head are thread chasers, and I'm trying to get them out with one hand and hold the camera. Here we go. So hopefully you can see that on that edge there. That's the cutting edge, and you can see the threads. So there's 4 of those inside here, and you can set it up to cut a multiple amount of threads. So the one I've got in here at the moment is what, 516 BSF. So I'm going to change this out to the 1/2 inch Whitworth that I need, and then I'll be able to set the stop. I'm yet to set the stops for the thread cutting to turn the diameter, and the stop down here, which limits the the amount of travel the carriage can go. You've also got a little pointer here that comes around to a line. You can also use that. So what I generally do is when I'm machining, like when I'm actually turning, is I set it on this to come up and stop. Then when I change out the tool to the parting off tool, which cuts it off, I set it on the stop down here. Over the back here is a chamfering tool. So when I'm preparing, I've turned the diameter and I go to cut the thread, it'll just put a chamfer on it, which is a nice lead in for the Coventry die head to be able to go and cut the thread. But I'll keep going until I get it all set up, and then we'll go for a bit of a run and show you how it all happens. So what I've just done is I've just turned the start diameter, and I'll take a measurement, and then we'll be able to adjust our depth of cut to cut it down to the 1/2 inch that we're required. Now this machine on the collar actually cuts off the radius, not the diameter. So whatever if you feed 10 thou in, it actually takes 20 thou off the diameter. And we're looking at 635, so we've got 135 thou to go. Okay, we've got the machine set up. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what the full process is to manufacture one of these gearbox drain plugs. So let's have a look. Okay, so first of all, I'm turning my diameter, and I'm turning that in one hit. So that's going straight down to a touch under 1/2 inch, so we can cut the 1/2 inch BSF thread on it. As I said before, those who've watched other videos, this hasn't got any power feed, this machine. I'm actually feeding it by hand, and I know I'm cutting up to the depth because I've got a mark here on the carriage, and that's it. I'll line it out. We're coming over and we're going to chamfer. I'll line up a mark also on the carriage. There'll be a mark on the cross slide. And that's that. Pull it off. Sorry, pull it back on. We're going to cut the thread. So I'm just going to put the parting off and the chamfering tool in a park position. I've locked my Coventry die head, and this is how you cut a BSF thread this quick. Coolant pump now back on, and I'm going to start drilling up the middle. So those of you that know anything about Bantams, the Bantam pump plugs have a catch hole up the middle. That's enough. Lead in for our drill. Going to put a little chamfer on the edge in there. Out of the way, now it's time to part it off. So I'll move the carriage out of the way. Change tool from my parting off tool. I have a stop set down here. Let's hit the stop, lock the carriage, and we'll part it off. Parting off is trying to keep it nice and consistent with the feed. And that's a Bantam gearbox drain plug. Now I'll just blow this out and I'll show you in the crankcase. So Just has got a crankcase for me. And as you know, there's the tiniest of gaps there, and that's the reason, because the thread won't cut all the way to the shoulder. But as you know, there's a gasket that's about fibre washer that sits under there that's about that thick. So I'm pretty happy with that. So what we've got to do from here is that we've got to put it back into the lathe and machine a slight radius on it with a form tool. But we're unable to get those at the moment, so we've opted to make them, and that's how quick you can make one. You don't need all the CNC stuff. Okay, so that's how we manufacture parts that we just can't get. This is a fantastic old machine. I've said it before, but I love it, and I really enjoy working on it still. So all my subscribers, thanks very much for your continuing support. If you haven't clicked like or subscribe, please do. And from Justin and I at BSA Bantams, we'll see you later.